So, hello, I'm Alfonso Sillero from NTT DATA, and my company is part of the THEROS Project, which is a consortium of different countries. But before that, NTT DATA is one of the IT consultant and the biggest consultant and provider of IT infrastructure in the world. Now, let's get into THEROS. What is THEROS? THEROS, the long title, is an integrated toolbox for improved verification and prevention of adulterations and non-compliances in organic and geographical indications of food supply chain. Too long, right? Basically, what are we going to do is to take different actors from different countries, especially 6 countries, and we are going to provide different IT components for the stakeholders to build a trustworthy network for them to put the life cycle of each of the products they're going to give us to produce a safe and secure environment for the traceability of different organic products. Okay? Now, this diagram shows us every tool that we're going to have in our disposal in THEROS. Starting from the bottom, we have the Earth observation component. Basically, what they're going to do is to ensure that the harvesting of products is produced where they are supposed to be being produced. Let's say that we have a parcel in Greece. So this component, the Earth observation ecosystem services, are going to ensure that that parcel is the Greek one, not the Serbian one or a different one in another city in Greece. Then we have the MEMS-based photonic systems that are going to ensure that the soil in different agricultural places is not adulterated. It doesn't have anything that's not organic. For example, fertilizer, non-organic fertilizers. Then we have the IoT sensors network, which is going to provide a safe environment for the produce to be transported. Let's say that you're transporting strawberries from one place to the other in a safe container. The IoT sensors are going to be inside that container, and they are going to ensure that the environment is the optimum one. And then we have the DNA authenticity kit, which is going to analyze the DNA of the different products that we're going to have, and they're going to ensure that they are those products and we're not getting anything that's different. Now, this is going to work on a field base. If we go a bit upstairs, we can find the data management and harmonization platform, the verification engine, and the blockchain-based traceability system. These 3 tools are going to work alongside each other, and they're going to store all that information, and they're going to ensure that that information is verified and it's going to be able to give a proper information of everything we've done so far. And then we have the client side, which is the Green Accountability Tool and the Digital Product Passport, which are going to be the platforms where clients are going to be able to see the information. Now, I want to also highlight that we are developing the European Dynamic Digital Product Passport, which is something that the European Union is quite keen on developing. Now, what are the objectives? Basically, it's to improve the detection of adulterations and non-compliance in the organic produce line, enhance the traceability in labeled food supply, ensure the efficient management and harmonization of the data collected, then access and formulate new business-oriented models and approaches, and then validate and demonstrate the effectiveness of all the tools that we are developing. Now, depending on which stakeholder you are, you're going to have different interests. if you are a certification body, THEROS is going to bring you an increase in the system analytical and preventive capability. It's going to be able to prevent food fraud, and it's going to be making it possible to monitor organic and agricultural parcels, among other things. Then if you're a policymaker, where you're going to be able to use these tools for improved monitoring performance of supply chains and more accurate and reliable environmental assessments. Now, if you're a supply chain actor, this is one of the key ones. It's going to be to reduce the complexity in the supply chain for these actors, to ensure a business logic towards addressing false claims, and to increase transparency and traceability. And if you're a consumer, basically, this is going to ensure that you are able to access the information regarding the traceability and everything that's interesting for the consumer. Now, let's say the potential for THEROS is limitless, but if we had to put a limit, we have 3 key points: the detection of adulterations, the detection of adulterations, the harmonization of the data, and the traceability and transparency. Now, as I said before, we are scattered between 6 countries, but we have 4 pilots that are starting now. That's why I haven't been able to provide any data. I'm sorry for that. But we have a Serbian pilot that's going to be using these tools to provide a full assessment of the blockchain in agriculture. Greece is going to do the same. The Czech Republic is also working with organic products from agriculture and farming. And then we have the Spanish pilot, the one we are looking for today, which is the mussel. Now, for the mussel, I'm sorry this had a long introduction, but I had to provide some information for this. Now, the Spanish pilot is focused on Mejillón de Galicia, and throughout our interviews with Joaquin, he is the responsible of the DOP of the Mejillón, and Kiwa, which Natalia is here, I think. So we've identified all the events and all the stakeholders that are in the mussel blockchain, that are in the mussel lifecycle. We have the producers, we have the transformation industries and the packagers, we have the logistics services, the distributors, and the retailers. Now, if we want to focus on it a bit more, we have first the harvest, which some other partners have already told that what is it about. We have rocas intermareales. We have rocas intermareales and cuerdas. Then we have the landing, which it's going to be where the classification and the verification of the DOP is going to happen. And we're going to have a DNA test checkpoint. Then it's going to be the shipment. And we have 2 different paths here. The depuration center for the shipment of fresh produce, and the transformation center for the shipment of canned goods. And at this stage, we're going to have another DNA test point that is going to be uploaded to the THEROS traceability system. I know it's all a bit abstract from now, but if you follow our social networks, we're going to provide more information because it's going to start basically on June, the actual part of it. Now, one of the key components of this pilot is the blockchain. What is a blockchain, you may ask? A blockchain is a system based on different open source and private logics that is going to be optimal for virtual asset management. Our blockchain solution is based on GS1 standards, which is going to be adaptable to any business sector and include all this data and events. Now, what is GS1? GS1 is the Global Trade Identification Standard, and it's going to be able to provide the what, when, and where. The what is the product itself. The when is going to be the timestamps associated to the traceability events. And the where is going to be provided by the stakeholder that manages the product. Now, this is more about the blockchain, and the takeaway from this is that the blockchain solution is going to imply a shared network with a single repository in which the information is shared simultaneously. Everyone is going to be able to access this information. Everyone's going to be able to access this information, and it's going to be updated manually and automatically depending on the pilot. And the impact THEROS is expected to produce is to establish sustainable supply chains with commercial value, create an integrated system that tries to minimize shortcomings or limitations, provide business support to short supply chains, establish sustainable supply chains with innovative technology, and lead to new or improved products. And I suppose that's it for me. Thank you very much for your attention.